And hello and welcome to Scalino's Field on the campus of Cal Poly Pomona. Dave Soberai, as always, so glad you've joined us for some playoff baseball here today between Team San Diego and, of course, the Inland Valley Pirates. Pirates finishing 12-4 in league play and won a share of the SCCBL regular season championship, lost the tiebreaker. So that's why they're in the 2 versus 3 matchup here, or I should say the number 2 versus number 3 seed. Meanwhile, Team San Diego finished 7-9 in league play, 23-21 overall. Of course, the Pirates, meanwhile, were 25-6 overall, just to clarify that. But the big thing here is that the Pirates, they swept the season series. They won all 4 games, but you can just kind of throw that out of the books now because it's back to square one. And this is a winner-take-all game, even though the Pirates did sweep that season series, as we're just about getting set for opening pitch here at Cal Poly Pomona, as Coach Charlie Reynoso, as well as Kyle Brown, the coach for Team San Diego, are at home plate, meeting with the 2 umpires, just about getting ready here. We'll give you the starting lineup for San Diego and Inland Valley really quickly. Here they are. Here's what the starting batting order looks like for Team San Diego. It'll be Gabe Luthan in left field. He is the leadoff hitter. Batting second in right field, Raymond Jones. Batting third, Colin Neuenweiss, the third baseman. The cleanup hitter is Tim Leary, who hit a home run against the Pirates on Friday and actually has 9 bombs on the season. So very big power hitter in that cleanup spot for Team San Diego. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, Nate Ellingson, the number 6 hitter in the lineup, Aaron Bing, the shortstop. Batting seventh, Rolando Sanchez, another guy with a 1 home run on San Diego this year. He's also the catcher. Batting eighth is Justin Webb, the center fielder. And last but not least, Donnie Donahue, the second baseman, is batting ninth. As we said, we're just about getting ready for the first ever game, the first ever playoff game in Pirates history. So this is really exciting and hopefully the first of many to come, not just for this season, but in the future for this Inland Valley program. Of course, if you were wondering, just really quickly, the Bucks ended up sweeping a doubleheader against the Heat and actually finished in 4th, just in case you were wondering. So the final stats, or the final standings, I should say, of the season were, as we mentioned, Power and Pirates tying for first place with a 12-4 record. San Diego, meanwhile, in third, 7-9. The Bucks came in 4th and went 5-11. And last but not least, the High Desert Heat finished 4-12, and they were in last place. Pirates getting ready to take the field down the first base side, as, of course, Team San Diego's on the third base side. The Pirates wearing their customary red shirts, red hats, and black bills with the white pants. Meanwhile, Team San Diego's in gray shirts, gray pants, red hat, and they have their San Diego writing very similar to that of the San Diego Padres on their road jerseys. As we mentioned, we're just about getting set here for what should be a very thrilling encounter between San Diego and Inland Valley. The starting pitcher on the mound for the Pirates will be Michael Koval. Michael Koval will find himself in the All-Star game on Saturday. One of 2 pitchers chosen from the Pirates to go to the All-Star game, the other being Andrew Alvarez. And so this is what the stats look like for Michael Koval this season, and he's certainly been dominant. 29 2/3 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, 2-0 record, 1.52 ERA, and a 0.94 WHIP. We'll come back to that as he takes the mound. Just wanted to kind of familiarize you with the pitcher who will be on the mound for, we figure, a very long time today. And really, this is a pitcher who shut down San Diego in San Diego at Morley Field in his first outing. In that first outing, going 6 1/3 and striking out 10, and he was very hard to hit for Team San Diego. As we mentioned, coming into today, Pirates swept all 4 games, and really they swept them by 14 runs combined. So there was only one close game, and that was the second game of the doubleheader on Friday, a 4-3 win where Anthony Virgin had a huge 2-run double to take the lead. The Pirates were trailing 3-2 at that point, and then went on to sweep that season series. But other than those 2 games, Pirates won the first game of the doubleheader 7-2, and then they won the 2 games in San Diego by 4 runs each. They won the first one 8-4 and the second one 4-0. So really, it's been a tough go at it for Team San Diego against the Pirates, and obviously we're hoping for that to remain true here today in what is a winner-takes-all play-in game to play a best-of-3 series against the Palm Springs Power. Should the Pirates win today, they'll have another game here tomorrow. But obviously we'll worry about that in about 9 innings as the Pirates do officially take the field for the first time today, and Michael Koval is on the mound. Here is the starting defense for your Inland Valley Pirates, going left to right across the outfield. It's Jacob Bernardi, Nathan Virgin, and Kyle Garlick. Going left to right across the infield, it's Johnny Reynoso, Channing Varela, Kyle Jackson, Andrew Alvarez, and behind the plate, Christian Kelly. So Christian Kelly and Michael Koval, each Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. So an all Cal Poly Pomona battery here for the men in red. And it'll be very interesting to see kind of how this game is managed, especially considering, as we mentioned, there's no tomorrow in this game because it's a one-game playoff scenario. So we figure that Michael Koval will be his usual self-dominant, but Charlie Reynoso is saying that at the signs of any adversity or at the signs of any trouble, he'll have a pretty quick leash on him and a quick hook, and Jordan Jeffs will be ready to go should anything happen. But as we mentioned, we talked about the stats at the top of the broadcast. Michael Koval has been nothing short of sensational this season, so we would not expect anything like that to happen. Well, for Team San Diego, they're sending a lot of guys that actually were not in the lineup on Friday over here today. And we mentioned Tim Leary is one of the names that you probably are familiar with because he actually hit a home run on Friday, and he has a lot of power and is a cleanup hitter and is actually leading the league in home runs. He hit 9 home runs this season. So, I mean, that's very, very impressive because when you look at the Bucks and the Pirates, they have not combined for 9 home runs together. But obviously playing in a different field, in a much larger field here at Cal Poly Pomona than at Morley Park in San Diego. Christian Kelly will make his warm-up throw over down to second base and Channing Varela, and we are just about set for the first pitch. Once again, so glad you've joined us. Dave Sobera on the play-by-play as we are working our way to this opening pitch here at Scalinos Field and Cal Poly Pomona. It is Michael Koval going against the leadoff hitter Gabe Luthon for Team San Diego. We'll get to the San Diego starting batting order again really quickly. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but just since we're starting now, we'll give you the lineup again really quickly. It's Luthon, Jones, Neuenweiss, Leary, Ellingson, Ping, Sanchez, Webb, and Donahue. First pitch, fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. Well, for Michael Koval, 6'1", 175-pound right-handed pitcher, as we mentioned, from Cal Poly Pomona, so feels very, very comfortable on this mound. This is his home mound during the regular season, but this pitch is lined up the middle for the base hit, so the first hitter of the day reaches on a hit for Team San Diego, and that's Gabe Luthon. And here comes Raymond Jones. Raymond Jones from San Diego City College with a .321 batting average for Team San Diego. Left-handed hitter going against the right-handed pitcher Michael Koval. Koval, a business administration major here at Cal Poly Pomona. Of course, hoping to go about his business here today and hopefully pitch the gem for the Pirates in a must-win ballgame. Here is Raymond Jones. Here's the first pitch to him, and it's low for ball 1-0 the count, as Jones puts up his right hand to tell the runner at first, Gabe, to kind of hold up and not try to advance there. Of course, we've talked about it a lot, and Christian Kelly is a guy who can single-handedly take a running game out, which we've seen him do even against the Power, as he had thrown out one of their base runners really early in one of the games, and they decided not to run the rest of that doubleheader back on June 23rd. Ground ball foul towards the first base dugout, and it's 1-1. Well, for Michael Koval this season, he has certainly been a strikeout pitcher. 29 2/3 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts. That's actually the most in Pirate history, which, of course, this is the second season for the Pirates, but still the most ever between this year and last year. Makes a little pick off a look over there at first base, but decides to hold it in his right hand. Does number 55. He actually broke the record from last year set by Taylor Valentine, who had 37 strikeouts. And this one just misses low and away for a ball. Hometown is Alta Loma, and went to Alta Loma High School, where once again he was a strikeout pitcher. 65 strikeouts and 60 2/3 innings there. 2.77 ERA. And, of course, a National Honors Society person in the classroom. Here comes the 2-1 from Koval. Swung on and missed, 2-2. And so Michael Koval, we mentioned this a lot about the Pirates, and they have a lot of guys like this, not just great on the field, but also very talented in the classroom, as we mentioned that National Honor Society accolade that he received, or earned, I should say, in high school. Koval looking for his first strikeout of the game, or maybe just the first out here with a 2-2 pitch. Setting the stretch, fires. Swung on, it's a high fly ball, foul, and out of play down the third base line and just over the third base dugout. Koval tells me that his favorites are pretty much Chicago sports in general, likes the Bears, the Blackhawks, the Bulls, and the Cubs. So I had to talk a little bit of trash into him earlier in the season when the Blackhawks lost to the Kings in a Game 7. Steps off the mound. Well, Michael Koval's been very deliberate here in this first inning, taking a lot of time. Usually works pretty quickly for the Pirates. In fact, pretty much every Pirate pitcher, for the most part, really seems to work quickly, except for, off the top of my head, I think Aaron Reynoso works pretty slowly. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, left side. This could be a tailor-made double play. Going over to second and now throwing to first, but not in time. So they get the force out at second. That's Channing Varela as he slings it over to Kyle Jackson for the first out there. So Raymond Jones reaches on the fielder's choice as Gabe Luthon is retired at second. So one away here, top of the first inning, just underway in the playoff game between Team San Diego and Inland Valley. Here's the right-handed hitter, Colin Nieuwenhuis. He is the third baseman, hitting .260 this season for Team San Diego. Also goes to the Masters College. Nice off-speed pitch in there for called strike one, 0-1 the count. And that is not a pitch that you really want to see as your first pitch of the day if you're calling. Meanwhile, of course, if you're the Pirates, that is definitely what you want to see, as that was pretty nasty. Here comes the 0-1. The runner bluffs, and this one is swung on and foul behind the backstop, and it's 0-2. Michael. Inning pitch ratio also, the ERA and the whip also very, very strong. 1.52 ERA for the season and 0.94 whip. Of course, whip is walks and hits per innings pitched. So that means he's giving up less than one walk and hit combined per inning pitched. Fastball low and away, ball one. Nice backhanded grab by Christian Kelly. And it's 1-2. Well, really, you talk about this, the familiarity of these two guys, both Koval and Kelly. They're both Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. So both of them very, very comfortable in this batter box and in this mound here. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, called strike three on the inside corner. And that is the first strikeout here of the game for Michael Koval. And now his 44th strikeout of the season. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Pirates play this. Obviously, ideally, if you're Pirates, you want to try to jump out to an early lead and hope that Koval can go maybe 5 innings and maybe be ready to come back in a possible Game 3. But obviously, you have to initially jump ahead there. Off-speed pitch on the inside corner, called strike one. 0-1 the count here to the cleanup hitter, Tim Leary. Tim Leary hitting .381 for Team San Diego. Plays for Westmont College. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Another off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. Tim Leary didn't look too happy about that last one. If you recall, Tim Leary hit a bomb out of the left center fence against the Pirates on Friday. Hit it off Cody Arott. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Kelly. Kelly will throw down at second, but not in time. So the runner advances into scoring position. That's Jones on a wild pitch. But still 2 strikes at the plate here for Michael Koval. So you hope that basically, you're just going to worry about the hitter and try to get him out as second base became dislodged. And Jones will put it back into its peg over there. Another 2-strike count here for Tim Leary to protect against. Wonder if Koval might go to another off-speed pitch because Leary was way ahead of it. And this is a slider bounced over to the left side. Two-hopper. Channing Varela can't field it cleanly, but finally makes the throw and not in time. So that is going to be an error on the shortstop. And Tim Leary reaches on that error. So that's tough right there for the Pirates because there's a slow ground ball hit to the left side by a guy who's not really that fleet of foot. And as we mentioned, Varela almost still made the play to first, but just not quickly enough. And here comes the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Nate Ellingson from San Diego Christian. First pitch to him is high and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count here. Well, if there was ever a time for a strikeout, you'd certainly love one right here if you're Michael Koval with runners on the corners and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. This pitch is called a strike and is 1-1. First, it looked like it might have been a little bit low, but home plate umpire finally calling a strike a little bit late. Koval comes set, working out of the stretch, checks the runner at third, and now fires home. This one's swung high fly ball, just shallow left field, charging in, and now camping underneath it is the left fielder, Jacob Bernardi, who makes the catch for the final out of this first half inning. So it was actually a pretty long first half inning, but the Pirates get out of it unscathed here and leave 2 men on base, does Michael Koval, as we head to the bottom of the first inning and a scoreless tie between San Diego and the Pirates. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back to Scalinos Field on the campus of Cal Poly Pomona. This is a playoff game between the Pirates and San Diego. Bottom of the first inning, no score yet. And here comes Channing Varela. Then it'll be Johnny Reynoso batting second, Kyle Jackson hitting third, Nathan Virgin in the cleanup spot, Andrew Alvarez batting fifth, Kyle Garlick sixth, Anthony Virgin seventh, Christian Kelly eighth, and Jacob Bernardi is the last batter in the lineup for the Pirates. First pitch misses inside for ball 1 from Randy Wynn. 1-0 the count from the right-handed pitcher from Missouri Baptist. Randy Wynn, this one's lined in the left center field. Will that get down for a base hit? Yes, it's over the head of the center fielder. Rounding first and headed into second is Channing Varela. He'll go down sliding foot first for a double here to lead things off for the Pirates in the bottom of the first inning. And you look at why Channing Varela is in that leadoff spot, and I think it's exactly because of this right here. He has been on fire with the bat as of late, and every single ball off his bat has just been a line drive in the gap of both left center and right center over the last 5 games. And continues to be that way here for Varela with a leadoff double. Here's Johnny Reynoso for his first at-bat of the day. Looks outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count here for Johnny Reynoso. We were starting to say that Randy Wynn is actually a Team San Diego lifer. He played on their 16 and under team, their 15 and under team, and has been on the collegiate team for the last 3 years and is actually working his way back from Tommy John surgery. But he was their ace on the mound this year in 2014. Ground ball left side, running over to third will be Varela. So Johnny Reynoso moves the runner over. And now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away from scoring here in the bottom of the first inning. Randy Wynn having that Tommy John surgery back in 2012, if you were wondering. Actually was working his way back with Team San Diego last year in 2013 before really solidifying himself as the ace in the rotation this year. Pitched very well against the power, only giving up 1 run in 2 outings. 1 run in each of the 2 outings that he faced. And line drive left side through the glove of the third baseman. That'll be a base hit for Kyle Jackson that produces a run. It's 1-0 Pirates, and he's in the second with a stand-up double. So fast and furious are coming the hits here for the Pirates, not taking much time to jump ahead of San Diego. And Randy Wynn, as Kyle Jackson ripping it down the third base line. And the third baseman, Nieuwenhuis, actually kind of deflected a bit with his glove, but a surefire double the whole way. And as we mentioned, the Pirates up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 out. This one called a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count here to Nathan Virgin. Virgin hitting .308 on the season, .422 on base percentage. We talked about it in the doubleheader on Friday against Team San Diego. The Virgin brothers are on base machines. As this is a nice breaking pitch called a strike at the knees and is 0-2. Both Nathan and Anthony at that point on Friday, going into the Friday, were the two leading on-base guys on the Pirates, along with Greg Espinosa. Here's the pitch from Wynn. Another off-speed pitch swung on and missed, so 3 strikes there. Nathan Virgin goes down on. And here comes Andrew Alvarez. So that's the second out of the inning. 1 run in. Channing Varela leading off with a line drive double to the left center gap. Then Johnny Reynoso moved him over to third base on a ground ball out to the left side. And Kyle Jackson ripping an RBI double down the third base line. And that's where we stand. 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Wynn working out of the stretch, taking a long look at second before firing home. A nice slider, I believe, on the outside corner. Called strike 1 to Andrew Alvarez. Alvarez hitting .349 on the season, 400 on base percentage. And among the top in runs scored on the season with 13. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side to Chopper over to the shortstop Ping. He fields cleanly and throws across the diamond for the final out of the inning. But the Pirates do get 1 run here in the bottom of the first and take a 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the second here at Cal Poly Pomona. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back as we head to the top of the second inning. 1-0 the score. Pirates leading San Diego. It'll be Aaron Ping, Rolando Sanchez, and Justin Webb due up for Team San Diego. That's 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. The Pirates taking advantage of a 1-run first inning. It was Kyle Jackson with the RBI down the third base line. First pitch is swung on a slow roller over to the shortstop Channing Varela, who makes the throw to Alvarez at first for the first out here in the second inning. So 1 pitch and 1 out. Speaking of Channing Varela, he was the man that scored on that RBI double in the last half inning by Kyle Jackson. Of course, Channing Varela had the double to left center field. Actually had an RBI in the or an error, I should say, in the top of the first inning. So he made up for that really quickly by leading off the game with a double and scoring the first run. Fastball outside corner, called strike 1. 0-1 the count here to Rolando Sanchez. Sanchez is one of 3 San Diego hitters with a home run this season. Here's the pitch from Koval. Blown away, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Rolando Sanchez is hitting .324 from Clark University for Team San Diego. Well, the theme of this game for the Pirates, we were talking with Charlie a bit before the game, was to get on the board early, and they got 1 in the top of the first inning. This one is hacked over towards left field but foul, and that's just going to be a long strike right there for Michael Koval, as the hitter Sanchez was ahead of it a bit, which is why he pulled it foul. Talked about Michael Koval and just the fact that really he's a guy that has been striking out hitters at an alarming rate. Tries to do it here, but that'll be ground ball over towards Johnny Reynoso. 2-hopper, he throws over to Alvarez, and that's the second ground ball out in a row here in the second inning. So 2 away, top of the second inning. Still 1-0, Pirates leading San Diego. Here's Justin Webb. Justin Webb is the center fielder from Northeast Oklahoma A&M. Hitting .314 for Team San Diego. Here's the pitch. And it's low and away. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Well, you look at Michael Koval, and he's a guy that very well may be in the running for a pitcher of the month category that will be deciphered by the media tomorrow. We'll have hitter, pitcher of the weeks and months. And Koval, certainly a guy who should be in contention for that. Fastball, low and away for a ball. You look at Koval, and really all of his starts for the most part have been against league teams. So that's why his stats are even probably more impressive. Fastball outside corner, called strike. 2-1 the count here for Michael Koval. Another thing that's really impressive about Koval for the most part, right now he was behind in the count, but usually he's ahead of the hitter, which is why he's so tough to face, and that'll be down low for ball 4. So 5-pitch walk drawn right there by Justin Webb, and that'll be the first base runner here in the second inning for Team San Diego. If you recall, back in the first, they actually left 2 on base. Raymond Jones was on third, and Tim Leary on first. But Koval getting Nate Ellenson to fly out to left field to finish that inning off. Here is Danny Donahue, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. He takes Lone away. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Not the largest of guys out there is the second baseman for Team San Diego. That's why a lot of smaller guys like this game. You don't necessarily have to be the biggest guys. I mean, look at Dustin Pedroia. Swung on and missed 1-1. As really, Michael Koval's off-speed pitches have looked exceptional so far in the first 2 innings and have really fooled the Team San Diego hitters. Koval takes a quick look over at first. Very, very small lead over there by Justin Webb. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Once again out in front was Danny Donahue, and that's the second strike here. So let's see if Koval comes back here with another off-speed pitch, or maybe tries to pipe him with some high heat. Koval out of the stretch, taking his time, late kicking the pitch, swung on and missed. Another breaking pitch, and that is strike 3. Second strikeout here for Koval in the second inning, and another scoreless inning for Michael as we'll head to the bottom of the second inning in a 1-0 ball game. Pirates leading San Diego. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. To the bottom of 2 we go as we have a little bit of a wind gust all of a sudden here at Cal Poly Pomona, which is kind of rare. Not too many wind gusts. Here's Kyle Garlick for his first at-bat. First pitch he sees is taken for strike 1. 0-1 the count here as Randy Wynn remains on the mound for Team San Diego. Pirates leading 1-0. Got the RBI double from Kyle Jackson. Another strike there, off-speed pitch, 0-2 the count. So Randy Wynn quickly getting ahead of the hitter, Kyle Garlick, who played for the University of Oregon the past 3 years before now transferring here to Cal Poly Pomona. On deck is Anthony Virgin. Ground ball left side. Chopper over towards the shortstop, charging, and he can't handle it. Garlick will beat it out. And you might say that might be an infield hit. It's another kind of questionable play because the shortstop, as we mentioned, it was a slow roller. And he had to really quickly transfer the ball from glove to throwing hand and make an exceptional sidearm throw. And he just couldn't handle it on the transfer. And it looked like Garlick might have beaten it out regardless. So we'll give him an infield single there. And here comes Anthony Virgin. Anthony Virgin with the big hit in Game 2 of that doubleheader. It was 3-2, Team San Diego. And Virgin coming up with a 2-run double to give the Pirates the 4-3 lead. And that was the score they ended up holding on for to win and end up sweeping the season series. Pickoff throw over to first by Wynn, not in time. Getting dirty was Kyle Garlick, sliding in head first over there to first base. Anthony Virgin, 306 batting average, 417 on base percentage. But maybe the most impressive stat is his 13 RBIs. So that's good for the team lead. This one comes inside, and it's called a strike. 0-1 the count. Virgin will take a step out of the batter's box and now come back in. Another pickoff throw over to first, not in time. It's worth noting that there's actually foul lines here today, which makes it easier to see down the left field line and right field line when there's balls that are close to whether or not they're fair or foul. It make the job a lot easier on the broadcaster and as well as the umpires, and that of course was the intention here as the Pirates hoping to host 2 home playoff games, one today and if they win, of course, one tomorrow. Here's the pitch, swung on, high fly ball. It's foul territory, but will it be playable? Yes, it's in play, but no, the catcher overruns it. So Sanchez, as we mentioned, overrunning the fly ball behind home plate. And so Anthony Virgin gets second life here on that fly ball. So often you see something like that happen, and obviously, first of all, it's foul, so it's not going to be an error no matter what. Secondly, he didn't even get the glove on the ball. But so often you see a guy get a second chance like this and then end up coming through. Of course, the Pirates will hope that that's exactly what's going to happen here for Anthony Virgin as Randy Wynn gets the baseball back and doesn't like it. Maybe it got muddy or something, because normally in that first base dugout, believe it or not, you know, it's so hot here, but still over near the on-deck circle, it's usually muddy there. So it might have fallen in that spot right there, and that's why Randy didn't want the pitch. Off-speed pitch, hangs high for a ball. That is really a tough pitch to kind of take if you're Anthony Virgin, but obviously having good knowledge of the strike zone. The only reason I'm saying it's a tough pitch to take is because it's a 2-strike count, and you don't want to get rung up by the home plate umpire. You got to protect the plate. Swung on and missed, strike 3, so both Virgin brothers go down swinging, as I believe Anthony was looking back to the home plate umpire to get confirmation about whether or not he would have called it a strike, and he nodded his head yes. So that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. One man on, that's Kyle Garlick. Hit the ball to the left side of the infield and reached base, and here is Christian Kelly, the catcher. Christian Kelly, obviously a very, very great defensive catcher for the Pirates. 1-0 the count here for number 27, 6'0", 185-pound right-handed hitter from Cal Poly Pomona, of course. We mentioned that back in the first inning. It was the all-Bronco battery of Koval and Kelly. Garlick off with the pitch. This one's grounded to the left side, so it's a hit and run, and they get that job done. And Garlick is not stopping. He's going all the way to third, sliding foot first, and he's safe. What a play right there for the Pirates, as Kyle Garlick going first to third on the ground ball to the left side of the infield. That's a little bit of small ball there, although it is the second out, as the out is reported at first. But still, you like the fact that you have a man on third base just 90 feet away from making it a 2-0 game with Jacob Bernardi at the plate. Jacob Bernardi, of course, another guy from Cal Poly Pomona who should feel very, very comfortable in that batter's box, but he struggled a bit with the bat this summer. Here's the pitch from Randy Wynn. Fastball called strike 1, 0-1 the count. For this summer, .259 batting average for Bernardi, which actually it's raised a little bit in the past couple weeks. 8 RBIs and 6 runs scored. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 2 in zone 2 stadium for the SCCBL. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, left side, slow roller over towards the shortstop. He will make the catch and throw to first and complete the final out of the inning. So at the end of 2 innings, it remains a 1-0 ball game. Pirates leading San Diego. We'll head to the top of the third. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back as we head to the top of the third inning for some playoff baseball between San Diego and Inland Valley. Pirates leading here 1-0. Got an RBI double by Kyle Jackson that scored Channing Varela back in the first inning. And, of course, that's the only run scored so far here at Cal Poly Pomona. First pitch from Koval. Misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Gabe Luthan. Luthan's 1 for 1 and hit a single up the middle. The only hit so far on the day for Team San Diego. This one comes inside and misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count here for Michael Koval. Michael Koval working out of the windup, leg kick, and here's the pitch. This one is grounded over the left side. Johnny Reynoso can't handle it and will still try to make the throw to first, but not in time. So that'll be the second error of the game here on the Pirates, as that's probably a ball that Johnny, even though it was hit to his left, should have been able to handle. So an error on each guy on the left side of the infield, one on Varela and one on Reynoso. And Team San Diego gets their leadoff man on base again in the form of Gabe Luthan, who has now reached base both times here in this game. Here comes the left-handed hitter Raymond Jones. Jones reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out to the shortstop Varela, who threw over to Jackson at second to get Luthan out, and then Jones obviously reaching on the fielder's choice. This one's hit right back up the box. Making a diving attempt was Varela, but it gets through in the center field for a base hit. Line drive base hit on the first pitch he sees. And now there's 2 men on and no outs here in the top of the third inning. Pirates clinging to that 1-0 lead. And here is Colin Neuenhuis. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. So one of 2 strikeout victims so far the first time through the lineup for Michael Koval. Koval working out of the stretch now, of course, with 2 runners on. Checks the runner at second, no one holding him on. Here's the pitch. Squaring around, and this is a fly ball. Will Kelly get to it? Kelly can't make the catch. And it's 0-1 here. And that is the second mistake here in this inning for the Pirates. Mentioned that that will not go down as an error because it's in foul territory, but that hit right off the glove of Kelly, who's one of the best defensive catchers you'll see, not only in the SCCBL, but just in any Southern California collegiate games in general. And so that was very surprising to see him not be able to handle that ball. on what's a sure sacrifice situation here. Koval steps off the mound, but decides not to throw it to second with nobody holding on the runner. So the San Diego now gets kind of a second life here to try to sacrifice both runners into scoring position. And if they could do that, and then they get another hit, they could take the lead. This time he does get it down. A great bunt down the third base line. Barehanding it is Reynoso, and he fires the first. Not in time. So the bases are now loaded here for Team San Diego, as that'll be an infield hit on a slow rolling bunt down the third base line that was placed to perfection. So, I mean, you look at some of the mistakes here. If Christian Kelly catches it, it's first and second, one out. And then on the first play, if Johnny Reynoso could have fielded it cleanly, there'd be one man on and two outs. And now you've got Tim Leary at the plate, the big cleanup hitter for Team San Diego, who hit a home run on Friday against the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing and holds up, and it's 1-0. Obviously, in this situation, you wanted to get ahead of the hitter, who, for really, Michael Koval seemed like he was really fooling him back in that first at-bat on the off-speed pitches, but he hit the ground ball to the shortstop, who made an error. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Another off-speed pitch, as we mentioned. Just really seems to be fooled a bit by those off-speed pitches from number 55 on the mound for the Pirates. This is a big situation right here for both Koval and, of course, Leary the hitter, with no outs here in the third inning, 1-0 the score. Ground ball left side foul, and that'll be strike two. And if you're the Pirates, you would love if you could get it. Obviously, the first thing you want is, well, there's two things that you would really want, either a strikeout or a ground ball to try to turn a double play. The corner infielders are in, as the middle infielders look like they're playing double play depth to try to turn two over at second and then first. So if that was the case and the ball gets hit up the middle towards the second baseman and shortstop, Pirates will concede a run and try to, of course, turn two, trade 2 outs for 1 run. Time called for at home plate by Tim Leary, the large right-handed hitter for Team San Diego, as Michael Koval was really on the mound for a long time and had never gone set. He comes set now. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Big strikeout right there for Michael Koval, the third of the day, and that's the first out here in the top of the third inning. And now exactly what you want is a ground ball for Koval, because if you can get out of this with an inning-ending double play, you've worked out of a huge jam. This is the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Nate Ellingson. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to the left fielder back in his first at-bat. If he could do that this time, it would be a run-producing fly ball, but this one misses low and away for ball 1 because he hit it relatively far out in left field, so that would have been a sacrifice fly if he could do that again and fly it over to the left field. Of course, Michael Koval hoping for a ground ball here with a 1-0 pitch. Ground ball left side over the head of Johnny Reynoso and in left field. 1 run comes home to score. It's 1-1. Throw from the left fielder way down the line and gets past Christian Kelly. Michael Koval picking it up as Team San Diego takes a 2-1 lead on a 2-run double by Nate Ellingson. So second and third now, 1 out, top of the third inning. 2-1 the score. Team San Diego leading the Pirates, as it looks like we have movement now in the bullpen, as Dylan Lowenstein and Jordan Sheffs now are running over there down the first base bullpen to get loosened up here. San Diego 2-1 lead. First pitch called a strike, 0-1 the count here to Aaron Ping from the University of San Francisco. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop. So the ground ball just flying over the head of Johnny Reynoso was a double the whole way over to the left field. Here's the pitch. This one's lined through the right side with the infield in, and that'll be another run-producing hit here as it's 3-1 San Diego on an RBI single by Aaron Ping. So Team San Diego enjoying a 2-run lead here, a 3-1 lead here all of a sudden in the third inning. as really it's been a lot of unforced errors that have helped aid Team San Diego. Of course, the initial play with Johnny Reynoso kind of making an error down the third base line, and then Christian Kelly not being able to catch the sacrifice bunt. That was a fly ball behind home plate in foul territory. He couldn't make the catch on that, and then they still try to sacrifice and end up getting a single because it was placed so perfectly, as time is now called for here by Charlie Reynoso, and he will go out to the mound for a conference with Michael Koval and Christian Kelly. And now Channing Varela, the shortstop, is coming in to kind of join Charlie Reynoso and the catcher and pitcher. Not quite sure why you would bring in just the shortstop there, but he is now headed back to short. Maybe they're talking about what to do if Team San Diego tries to steal here, considering there's a runner on third base. If you try to steal, you think that Christian Kelly might be the type of guy who would be able to throw him out. But obviously, with a runner on third, you don't want to risk overshooting the throw or just, losing awareness that there is a runner on third base that could increase this to a 3-run game. Line drive to right field. Will that get down in fair territory? No, it is fair. So that'll be another run in here for San Diego, as it's now 4-1. The throw comes into second, and Channing Varela can't handle it, as that'll be another RBI double for Team San Diego, and this is not what you want to see if you're the Pirates. As Team San Diego is now bringing up their 8th man in the inning, and Charlie Reynoso comes out to get the hook for Michael Koval, so that'll do it for Michael Koval, as 4 runs have already been scored in this inning, and there's still a runner on third here and second for Team San Diego with only 1 out, and Jordan Sheffs will come in. We'll step away for a few moments. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back. It's still the top of the third inning. 4-1 the score. Team San Diego leading Pirates. The infield is in. First pitch from Jordan Sheffs. Called to strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count here to Justin Webb, who reached on a walk back in the second inning. Well, this has been a very, very tough third inning for the Pirates, as Michael Koval has now been replaced here for Sheffs. The runner's off third base, and the throw down to third, they got him, as it looked like it was supposed to be maybe even a suicide squeeze. Or maybe it was just supposed to be a safety squeeze, but the hitter couldn't make contact with it, so Christian Kelly picks off the runner over there as Aaron Reynoso applies the tag, and that's the second out here, so that's a big out right there, as Justin Webb is also down here in the count to Jordan Sheffs on an 0-2 pitch. Sheffs working out of the stretch, peering in at his catcher Kelly's signs, and now likes what he sees as he comes set. Checks the runner at second and fires home. This one's low and away for a ball. Well, it's always big to get that first out here for the Pirates if you're Sheffs, especially for Kelly to throw the guy out at third. And now you're just hoping to get out of this inning unscathed for Sheffs at least, as this one misses low and away for a ball. Sheffs looks like he's really bringing the heat so far for those first few pitches he's thrown. It looks like he's kind of turned it up a notch. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt, low and away, ball 3. So it's 0-2, and it's now a full count here for the number 8 here in the lineup, Justin Webb, who already drew a walk earlier in the game. That, of course, was against Michael Koval. Sheffs fires, and this one's low. So that'll be another walk drawn by Justin Webb. And there's runners on first and second. 2 outs here for Jordan Sheffs. And the number 9 hitter in the lineup set to come up, Danny Donahue, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And this is also the 9th hitter they've sent up in the lineup in this third inning. Sheffs checks the runner at second, no one holding him on. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt, blocked by Christian Kelly, and it's 1-0. Jordan Sheffs, 6'2", 185-pound right-handed pitcher from UC Irvine, where he will be a sophomore next season. Here's the pitch. Called a strike on the inside, and it's 1-1. For UC Irvine, he went to University High School and was the MVP of his league and a 3-time CIF selection, all CIF selection, I should say. Here's the pitch, 1-1. Fastball overthrown in the dirt, and it's 2-1. Jordan Sheff's kind of digging away at that mound, digging away at the dirt over there, fixing it to his liking for this 2-1 offering to come. Here's the 2-1. Bounced foul off the shin of the hitter Danny Donahue, and it's 2-2. Well, obviously the Pirates are going to have to show what they're made of here. Still only the third inning. Have plenty of at-bats to come, 7 more at-bats to come to try to tie this game up as they trail by 3 runs, 4-1 the score. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes the hitter Donahue. But the damage was done here for the Pirates in the top of the third inning as Gabe Luthon reached on an error and ended up scoring, and Raymond Jones singled and scored. Colin Neuenweiss, if you remember, had the sac bunt attempt that was foul, but it was very catchable for Christian Kelly, and it clipped off his glove. He couldn't catch it, and then on the next pitch, he bunts one down the third base line and ends up getting a single, and he also ended up scoring. And Nate Ellingson with the big 2-run double, Aaron Ping with an RBI single, and Rolando Sanchez with another RBI hit. And so that's where we stand. 4-1 the score, San Diego on top of the Pirates as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. Just bunted foul off the shin here by Team San Diego. Well, if you missed the third inning, that inning was absolutely insane. Offensive fireworks were really the norm back in the third inning. Team San Diego plating 4 runs, and the Pirates plating 5, so 9 runs scored altogether. It's now 6-4. Nice breaking pitch in there for a called strike here from Jordan Sheffs. And honestly, after the Pirates took the initial 1-0 lead in the first inning, we thought maybe we'd have a pitcher's duel between Koval and Wynn. Koval gets lifted in the third inning for Jordan Sheffs, and Jordan Sheffs comes in and gets the 2 batters out that he faced. And it's 0-2 here for Jordan Sheffs, by the way. And all of a sudden, the Pirates come with 5 runs in that inning, swung on and fouled behind home plate here by Jordan Sheffs. So that was absolutely wild as both teams hit through the lineup in the third inning. This one misses low and away from Christian Kelly to Christian Kelly for a ball from Jordan Sheffs. But as we mentioned, both teams sending up all 9 hitters. Pirates scoring 5 and San Diego scoring 4. This one is a little nubber, but it actually flies into the outfield for a base hit. And so that'll be a leadoff hit here for Gabe Luthon in the 4th inning, who he actually started that whole rally off in the 3rd inning, pitching on an error by the third baseman Johnny Reynoso, and then ended up scoring. I mean, also, if you recall, really, in that last inning, all the runs were scored after 2 outs. The first 2 hitters in the inning, Varela and Johnny Reynoso, were retired. And then 2 walks, and then a whole bunch of offensive fireworks for the Pirates ensued. Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the right side hole for a base hit. So once again, Team San Diego getting their first 2 men on base with singles here in the 4th inning. And so Raymond Jones now 2 for 3, but has reached base all 3 times. Time called for here by Charlie Reynoso in a 6-4 ball game. And really, you look at it, and I mean, this has been an absolutely crazy. I mean, just look at the 3rd inning. We don't have games here sometimes that have 9 runs in total for an entire 9-inning game. And just in that 3rd inning, Pirates played 5 and San Diego played 4. We mentioned that Pirates also scored 1 in the first, so that's that 6-4 score as Charlie now heads back to the third base dugout here. And we'll leave Jordan Sheffs on the mound. Well, you figure that it's going to be really Jordan Sheffs' game for the most part for the rest of today. Not exactly sure who else Charlie Reynoso would be thinking of going with here in this situation. Squaring around, and this one misses high and in for a ball, is Colin Neuenweiss, who actually had this exact same situation back in the third inning. And if you remember, he bunted one foul and off the glove of Christian Kelly, which I'm sure Kelly would tell you that he should have made that play. And then he ends up bunting for a hit. This one's called a strike fastball, 1-1 the count. Well, you always say the first thing that you want to do when a guy's trying to sacrifice is the first thing you want to do is just throw a strike, because if they're going to give you an out, you want to take it. But maybe not so much in that last scenario with when it ended up being a bunt single against Michael Koval. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side, charging is Jackson. Jackson makes the tag, throws to first. That's a 4-3 double play. And so that's a big play right there for the Pirates to get both Jones and Neuenweiss retired here in the fourth inning. 2 outs, 6-4 the score. Pirates on top of San Diego. And here comes the cleanup hitter, Tim Leary. Leary 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first and struck out in the third inning. Here's the pitch. This one is swung on, and this is going to be a fly ball foul and out towards the first base line. Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties we've been having. We're being told that there's a little bit of static for the broadcast. I believe it's perfectly resolved right now, but we apologize because it sounds like the static was kind of tough in that big last inning where the Pirates ended up scoring 5 runs. So that's also kind of disappointing for myself, because obviously I like to kind of go back and listen to the big innings. So we would kind of apologize for that, but we're understanding that now the issues seem to be resolved. But maybe we should kind of recap, because I'm not exactly sure. What I'm understanding is the fact that I guess it was kind of staticky on and off, which I've gotten a tweet or two about. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side over towards the shortstop, Varela. Varela has it, throws the first, and that will be the out. And that will finish this top of the fourth inning. Great job right there by Jordan to get out of this inning unscathed and really to get that ground ball double play, and then another ground ball, and as we mentioned, get out of the inning and keep the Pirates ahead 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Just to kind of recap, and we were talking about it a little bit in the last inning anyways, because it was so crazy and so great, but let's just kind of recap what happened back in that third inning. I mean, in that third inning, there were 18 hitters altogether as Team San Diego scored 4 runs, and we were talking about it as these hitters came up because they all batted in the last inning, but really you felt like the Pirates, they almost could have had 2 outs and only 1 man on, but instead there were the bases loaded and no outs, and then obviously San Diego coming through with 4 runs. But then in the bottom of the third, as we mentioned, the Pirates send up 9 hitters, and they score 5 runs and take a 6-4 lead after falling behind 4-1. And what's most surprising or maybe impressive about it is the fact that Channing Varela and Johnny Reynoso, the first 2 hitters in the lineup, actually made outs in that inning, and then there were 2 consecutive walks. And then you have Andrew Alvarez reaching, and then you have Kyle Garlick with the 2-run double down the left field line. Anthony Virgin with an RBI double. Christian Kelly with an RBI single and 5-run scoring. So it is 6-4 here as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Pirates and San Diego doing battle in a playoff game from Cal Poly Pomona, Scalinos Field. So glad you've joined us. Dave Sobera on the play-by-play. Swung on and fouled out of play behind home plate. 0-1 the count here for Channing Varela. So Varela hitting .273 on the season, 1 for 2 today, a double and a run scored. Here's the pitch, and it's low and inside. Ball 1, 1-1 the count to the 5'9", 170-pound right-handed hitter from Riverside City College. So back to the top of the lineup for the Pirates as this one misses inside, and it's 2-1. Well, I was saying in the last inning at the beginning of the inning that Team San Diego actually started with their leadoff hitter and hit through the lineup. So if you're the Pirates, off-speed pitch, call strike 2 on the outside corner. So if you're the Pirates, why don't you try to do the same thing? But then I felt kind of bad about the same thing happening after the first 2 guys got out. But then the next few guys obviously all coming through and really clutch at bats, and Pirates, as we mentioned, taking that 6-4 lead, breaking pitch in the dirt. Ball 3, full count here for Channing Varela. So as we mentioned, 1, 2, 3 in the lineup is where we're at as time is called for by the hitter Varela. So 1, 2, 3 is Varela, Reynoso, and Jackson. And then Nathan Virgin, should anybody reach base here for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Fastball, bounce foul, over towards the on-deck circle, and Johnny Reynoso, as his brother Aaron, will actually run out and hand a bunch of baseballs to the home plate umpire. Wow, well, that third inning was just so crazy. You just can't really get over it. You got to just keep talking about it. And when you send up 18 hitters and 9 runs scored total, swung on and missed, strike 3, down goes Varela. So that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. When you see that many runs scored and both teams coming through, you know, in the clutch like that in a playoff game, I mean, it's just impressive, and it really garners more attention and more talking about. As Johnny Reynoso now steps in for his 3rd at-bat of the game. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Lined into left field for a base hit by Johnny Reynoso, so now he'll be 1 for 3 on the day. He's rounding first, takes a hard banana cut, but holds up there at first base for the single. So now you look at it, and here in the 4th inning, every single Pirate has reached base at least once, except for Jacob Bernardi. And we're just in the 4th inning. So the top 8 hitters in the lineup all reaching already. And here comes Kyle Jackson. Kyle Jackson had reached both times. Had an RBI double in the 1st and also scored and reached on a walk back in the 3rd. Here's the pitch. And this one's an off-speed pitch alone away for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Well, we were talking about it, and this is very temporarily it seemed like, and you thought that with the ace on the mound for San Diego and one of the probably 2 aces for the Pirates, this was going to be a pitcher's duel. And then this will be thrown over to first base by Randy Wynn, not in time. And then you felt like that RBI double just getting ahead 1-0. You felt like as a pitcher's duel that might be, you know, probably not enough, but that would go a long way into winning this game. Line drive foul down the first base line by Jackson. And then it was anything but a pitcher's duel that we thought we might get. And obviously we've talked about this a lot, but 9 runs in that 3rd inning, 4 for San Diego and 5 for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Fastball. That'll be strike 2 as Kyle Jackson kind of shakes his head. I think he didn't want to basically go after that high heat. Sometimes you just see the high heat and you get a little bit excited. Your eyes kind of balloon up. Here's a 2-strike pitch, and it misses low for a ball to Kyle Jackson. On deck is Nathan Virgin, in the hole Andrew Alvarez. Randy Wynn working out of the stretch. Quick sidearm throw over to first base, not in time. Well, that was a pretty actually tricky, maybe quick pickoff move. He's kind of still hunched over before coming set and just kind of slung it sidearmed over to first base. Ooh, this is up and in for a ball to Jackson. And actually, this is something that Jackson did in his last plate appearance when he drew that walk and started the rally for the Pirates. And I was talking about it a little bit when Nathan was up as well, who also drew a walk, is just starting to extend the at-bats and seeing a lot of pitches and wearing down the pitcher, and that's what they did. Nosa's off with the pitch on a 3-2 count. This one is a fly ball lifted in the right field, and very shallow right field as the first baseman, Leary, will make the grab to retire Kyle Jackson for the first time of the day. And here comes Nathan Virgin. He's 0 for 1. Struck out in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Of course, Nathan, one of the 2 Virgin brothers, the younger at that, headed to Cal State Monterey Bay. 6'0", 180-pound right-handed hitter. Randy Wynn comes set at the hip and fires. Off-speed pitch. This is inside for ball 1, 1-0 count. Well, you look at the lineup, and there really is no break or no rest for an opposing pitcher for the Pirates. Fastball, inside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. And I think that's why maybe as a pitcher he felt like, well, I got the first 2 hitters out, but then you come up into the middle of the lineup and you look at who's batting 5th and 6th today. I mean, Alvarez was batting 3rd pretty much all season, as this is called a strike on the outside corner. And Garlick, since he's been a Pirate, has pretty much been the cleanup hitter all season. So both of them being moved back a couple of spots in the lineup. Maybe part of the reason why the Pirates were able to come through with that huge run inning. Nice off-speed pitch, called a strike at the knees, as it was a really slow off-speed pitch that really Nathan never really wanted to do anything with. Time called for, I'm not certain why. The second base umpire is saying something to Charlie Reynoso over at third base, and he's now going to go over to talk to the second base umpire. I'm not sure if something's on the, it doesn't look like anything's on the field, but I guess what we're being told now is that there was hitting in the cages, and the umpire was asking Team San Diego and the Pirates to stop it if it was bothering them. And now Team San Diego's coach is talking to Charlie Reynoso, so that's solved, and Nathan fouls this one behind home plate. Well, that's something that the Pirates have done pretty much all season, is go to the cages and hit, because you see that the entire lineup usually gets replaced in the 5th or 6th inning, and so it's a whole new batch of guys, so they need to get their work in and be ready to hit, and they don't want to be cold, as this fastball misses low and away for a ball here to Nathan Virgin. Virgin, before going to Cal State Monterey Bay, went to Citrus College, where he was a second-team all-conference selection. .350 batting average, .446 on-base percentage this past season. Of course, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Reynoso off with the pitch. This one is swung on and lifted foul behind home plate. And what is becoming a marathon, a really epic at-bat here for number 23 on the Pirates. But we talked about it at the top of the broadcast, really both Nathan and Anthony just being on-base machines for the Pirates this season. Wind comes set. Here comes another payoff pitch. And this one, once again, is swung on and fouled out of play behind home plate here by Virgin. Still 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. 6-4 the score, Pirates on top. Ground ball left side over towards the charging shortstop Ping. Ping fires across the diamond and makes the play for the final out of the inning. So 6-3 on that put out right there if you're scoring at home. And we had a scoreless 4th inning after fireworks were the norm in the 9-run 3rd. But the Pirates still holding on to that 6-4 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back as we head to the top of the 5th inning. 6-4 the score. San Diego is trailing the Pirates after the Pirates got a 5-run lead to erase a 4-1 deficit. A 5-run inning, I should say, to erase a 4-1 deficit back in the 3rd inning. And as we mentioned, 6-4 is the score now as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And it'll be Ellingson, Ping, and Sanchez here for Team San Diego. Well, the Pirates certainly have made it interesting so far. Ground ball left side over towards Channing Varela. Varela throws to first in time. So that'll be the first out here of the 5th inning. Actually, 2 consecutive ground balls to the shortstop for Team San Diego, as Tim Leary grounded out to short to finish off that 4th inning. And now leading off in the 1st inning, Ellingson grounds out to short. Here comes Aaron Ping. Ping hitting .307 on the season from Team San Diego. He's 1 for 2 in this game and has an RBI. Here's a pitch from Chefs. Swung on and lifted into right field. Will that be fair? It doesn't matter because it's going to be caught anyways by Carl Garlick out there. I believe it was foul down the right field line. And so that'll be the 2nd out. So 2 quick outs here for the Pirates here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's Rolando Sanchez. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch from Chefs. Low, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Well, we talk about this, but of course it's worth mentioning again. Chefs from University High School, where he holds school records for strikeouts, innings, and wins. Breaking pitch called to strike at the knees, 1-1 the count, as somebody in the Pirates dugout was saying great pitch, because it was. Another breaking pitch, but this one is in the dirt, 2-1 the count here for Jordan Chefs. Chef's a guy who also likes to, I guess, give back, you would say. He's in the Best Buddies program and aids kids with special needs. Ground ball to the left side. Channing Varela in hot pursuit catches it and fires to Alvarez to retire the side. The side goes down in order. A couple ground ball outs to Varela and one fly out to Kyle Garlick. And we are halfway through this baseball game. The score is 6-4 Pirates on top of San Diego. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back. It looks like we're struggling with issues again. We're going to try to resolve them as quickly as possible. This pitch is bounced up the middle by Andrew Alvarez. Backhanded grab made by the second baseman Donahue, and he will get Alvarez out at first base. So that is 1 up and 1 down here on the second pitch that Alvarez saw in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-4 the score. Pirates on top of Team San Diego. And welcome back as we head to the top of the 6th inning. It's 7-4. Pirates leading San Diego. 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup is where San Diego is. That's Justin Webb, Danny Donahue, and Gabe Luthen. First pitch misses inside from Jordan Chefs for ball 1. 1-0 the count here for the right-hander from UC Irvine. This one misses inside, and it's 2-0. Of course, Jordan Chefs making the trip to Omaha this season as the Anteaters went all the way to the World Series. This one was nowhere near the zone, 3-0, as it looked like Chefs sort of lost his footing there. And of course, the on-deck hitter will pick up the baseball. Here's the 3-0, and this one's actually swung on. Ground ball to the right side, two-hopper to Kyle Jackson, and so that'll be the first out here in the 6th inning. And you look at, since Jordan Chefs has come in, he has done an absolutely great job. In fact, Jordan Chefs has retired the last 6 hitters he's faced. So 6 retired in a row for number 24. Fastball low and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Danny Donahue. He's 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. And really, if you remember, Jordan Chefs came in a huge situation just for the sense that Pirates needed to stop the bleeding, as this one is swung on and missed at an off-speed pitch, about a 59-footer in the dirt, but it had nasty bite on it. And that's kind of why the hitter was fooled. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed again. Strike 2. 1-2 the count here for Jordan Chefs. But Jordan Chefs coming in that crazy, chaotic 3rd inning. Leg kicking. Here's the 1-2. And it's just foul. We'll do it again. Another 1-2 to come. But actually ended up, he got the pickoff at third base when he initially came in, and then the strikeout of this hitter, but this time it's going to be a ground ball up the middle for a base hit, so that'll be the first hit of the day for Danny Donahue, who gets, I guess, a little measure of revenge against Chefs, who struck him out the first time they faced each other. And so now there's 1 on and 1 out, top of the 6th inning, and back to the top of the lineup for San Diego. So Team San Diego hoping, and they're, trying to make a rally here, but obviously Jordan Chefs and the Pirates were going to do their best at keeping them off the board. It was always, of course, nice getting that home run by Anthony Virgin in the last inning, getting another extra insurance run. Off-speed pitch called to strike on the inside corner, 0-1 the count. We were talking about Jordan Chefs in the last inning, and here's the pitch from him, as this one misses in the dirt for a ball. But we're mentioning kind of aiding special needs children in the Best Buddies program, but he also got the Shirley Moore Character Award. So another just kind of, I guess you'd say, a renaissance man. He can do it on the field, and he can also do it in the classroom and volunteering. Ground ball, bunt, over towards Chefs. He barehands and fires the first and gets the out there. But it's a sacrifice bunt of sorts because the runner has advanced to second base and into scoring position. Of course, you don't necessarily consider a one-out situation a sacrifice situation because now there's 2 outs. And, you know, you can just get out of the inning any way if you're Chefs, whether it be a fly ball, ground ball, or strikeout. Here is Raymond Jones, and maybe they were just trying to bunt for a hit in that situation too, because we talk about the infield grass, and the infield grass is pretty high here. You see lots of infield hits and some bunt hits as well. So maybe they were trying to bunt for a hit in that situation. Here's a nice pitch called to strike on the inside, and it's 0-1. The hitter, Raymond Jones, he didn't look like he liked the call too much, but it looked like a really good location for Chefs for me. Jones has actually been on base all 3 times today, singled twice and scored 1 run, and also reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. So the left-handed hitter, number 28, has enjoyed some success here for San Diego. Here's the 0-1, and this one misses outside 1-1. But, you know, you like Jordan Chefs because he looks like he's, obviously they're at the collegiate level, but he looks like he knows what he's doing there. I was going to say he looks like sort of a professional pitcher in the sense that he likes to do different things to get the hitters out. And it's not necessarily just striking them out every time. It's coming inside. It's going outside. As this fastball misses low and away, and it's 2-1. It's changing up your pitches, and it's knowing the situation. And we talked about just knowing the situation when you're in a scenario where you have first and second and no outs, and you get a ground ball double play. That's obviously more important to get than a strikeout because you get 2 outs and then you end up getting out of the inning, which he did earlier in this game. Big breaking pitch swung on and bounced over towards the right side, and Jackson will not be able to get the throw over to first in time as it was a slow chopper, and that'll be an infield base hit here for Raymond Jones. Jackson tried to sidearm the throw over to first and couldn't make the play in time. And now here comes Colin Neuenweiss, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. He is 1 for 3, singled and scored in the third. And we were just talking about that ground ball double play that Chefs got. This was the guy who hit it over towards Jackson, the second baseman. Fastball low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Pirates clinging to that 7-4 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Jordan Chefs entered in the third. Nice off-speed pitch called to strike, and it's 1-1. Well, for the Pirates, and obviously in general, there's no tomorrow. You need to win this game to make the best-of-3 series. Line drive left field, that's a base hit. That makes it 7-5 as a run comes home to score with 2 outs here for San Diego. So Colin Neuenweiss comes up with the RBI single. And now San Diego hoping to get kind of a 2-out rally of their own. As we mentioned, that 5-run third all coming with 2 outs for the Pirates. And now they have the big guy, the cleanup hitter, up at the plate, Tim Leary. He's 0 for 3 today. But we mentioned in the last time we saw him, he had a home run. In fact, the media director of Team San Diego wanted it known that he has hit 9 on the season. Even though it said 8 in their stats, they hadn't updated the stats from Friday's games yet. So he has 9 home runs, which is an absolutely sensational number for his summer season. This one's called to strike on the inside. Nice pitch right there by Jordan Chefs as Tim Leary will walk out of the batter's box, not really, I think, liking the call. But obviously you have to live with what the home plate umpire calls, of course. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Nice stop right there by Christian Kelly on a breaking pitch that was low and away, really on the left-handed side of the batter's box. And really a huge play because if both runners advance, then they're both in scoring position, and a hit would tie the game up potentially. 7-5 is the score now. 1 run has been scored in this inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike 2 at the knees. I think that's sort of what makes Chefs a good pitcher, as we're saying. He kind of just changes up lots of different pitches. What I find really interesting in this game is, first of all, this I think is going to be Chefs' game for the most part going forward the rest of the game. Here's the pitch, breaking pitch low for a ball. But what's also interesting is if you consider using Andrew Alvarez for maybe the final 2 innings of this game to cement the victory, and then you decide to, obviously, you wouldn't probably start him tomorrow, but you would end up starting him for game 2, and that's assuming you obviously have to win in that scenario. But it might be something you consider if you're Charlie Reynoso, who has now called timeout and comes out to the mound for conference with Jordan Sheffs, and Kyle Jackson, the second baseman, joining him and Christian Kelly as well on the pitcher's mound. And they'll all head back to their respective spots, whether it be the dugout, second base, or behind home plate, and Christian Kelly jogging home. This is a big moment here for Jordan Sheffs. Has 2 strikes here. Love to get a strikeout. This one swung on and lifted foul down the right field line and out of play. Or certainly out of the reach for Kyle Garlick. Well, it hasn't been the normal Pirates game if you're just joining us. Just, you know, a 7-5 score. A lot of crooked numbers. We're obviously more used to and accustomed to seeing pitching gems, but Jordan Sheffs, for the most part, since he's entered, has done his job. He's only allowed 1 run here in this inning. And this one misses low for ball, and it's called a walk, and the bases are now full for Team San Diego here in the top of the 6th inning. And up comes Nate Ellingson. Ellingson is 1 for 3, had the 2-run double, and scored back in the 3rd inning. So, a guy who certainly has already come through for San Diego. He plays for San Diego Christian. Here's a pitch. High, ball 1, 1-0 the count. 7-5 the score, 2 outs, bases loaded. As we're mentioning, the situation here is for Sheffs to just get out of this inning any way he can, and it's now 2-0 as his fastball misses low and in for ball 2. And now the hitter, obviously, with the hitter's pitch to come on a 2-0 count. Normally, if you're the pitcher, you have to come to him with a fastball, and it is a fastball, but it's chopped foul into the third base dugout, 2-1 the count. On third base, Raymond Jones, he has a single in this inning. On second base, Colin Neuenweiss, he has the RBI single, and Tim O'Leary is at first. Ground ball, chopped foul down the third base line for another strike. Strike 2 here for Jordan Sheffs. So Jordan Sheffs now fighting back after falling behind 2-0. Makes it 2-2. Working out of the stretch, comes set, checks the runner at third, and fires home. Swung on, high fly ball. Jordan Sheffs is in pursuit. And now calling him off is the first baseman Alvarez, who will make the grab to finish this inning off. So the Pirates get out of a bases-loaded jam here in the 6th inning. And they hold on to a 7-5 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th here at Cal Poly Pomona. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning in a 7-5 ball game. Pirates leading San Diego. 9-1-2 in the lineup is where we are. That's Jacob Bernardi, Channing Varela, and Johnny Reynoso for the Pirates. First pitch from Randy Wynn. Fastball called strike 1. 0-1 the count here. Well, it was the Pirates who jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first inning before San Diego answered with 4 of their own in the third. Took a 4-1 lead. Pirates answering with 5 in the bottom of the third to make it 6-4. Here's the pitch. And this one misses low and away for a ball. Pirates tacking on 1 more in the 5th to take a 7-4 lead. And then San Diego answering with 1 of their own in the last inning. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 for Jacob Bernardi. And so that's where we stand. 7-5 the score. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Bernardi. So Bernardi 0 for 3 on the day. And unfortunately for number 14, he's the only Pirate actually to not reach base in this game so far, as we are in the 6th inning. And here comes Channing Varela. Varela 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the first inning. Flew out to right field in the third and struck out in the 4th. We were just talking about Varela when he had that double to left center in the first inning, and that was kind of the norm of what he's done over the last week or so of the season. This one's a little nubber that's dying in the grass. Will he be able to beat it out? No, he won't. As the shortstop makes the play ping over towards Leary for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. And here comes Johnny Reynoso. Johnny Reynoso 1 for 3. Grounded out to the short, grounded out to the first baseman, and singled back in the 4th inning down the left field line. And Johnny Reynoso for a while there was going 1 for 2 pretty much every time out. He'd love to go, I guess, 2 for 4 here today if he could get a hit right here and maybe start another 2-out rally for the Pirates. Swings the first pitch he sees and fouls it behind home plate. 0-1 the count. And, of course, we mentioned this before, but that 2-out rally in the 3rd inning for the Pirates, they scored 5 runs with 2 outs. So Reynoso hoping to maybe be the starter of another one of those types of rallies. He lines this one up the middle, backhanded grab made by the second baseman Donahue, and that is a great play by the second baseman to throw to first and to retire Johnny on a ground out. So the side is retired in order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pirates still holding a 7-5 lead as we head to the top of the 7th. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning in a 7-5 ball game. This is Soberi on the play-by-play. So glad you've joined us for this playoff game featuring the Inland Valley Pirates taking on Team San Diego. And what has been, we said at the beginning we thought it was going to be exciting. Well, that's an understatement so far, as we mentioned, the score being 7-5. First pitch here, low and away, ball 1 from Jordan Sheffs to Aaron Ping. Ping is 1 for 3 with an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. This one misses inside, and it's 2-0. Sheffs on the season before today, 26 2/3 innings pitched. 1-1 record, 2 saves, 9 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Upstairs and away, ball 3, 3-0 the count. Came in with a 2.03 ERA and a 1.35 whip. Here's the pitch from Sheffs, and another ball as this one misses high and in. So 4-pitch walk drawn here for Aaron Ping. And Charlie Reynoso now heading back out to the mound where he's had a visit pretty much every inning for the past few innings. Wonder if this might be the end for Jordan Sheffs, as it looks like Charlie is walking with a purpose and will ask for the baseball. So Jordan Sheffs is now going back to the dugout, and he will be replaced for Jack Johnson. So Jack Johnson will get his warm-up pitches here, a left-handed pitcher who you feel like this is a situation for Jack where really he can make his presence felt on the mound. And if you're a Pirate fan, of course, you want him to make his presence be felt. But he's a guy that you feel like as we go on through this playoff season, should the Pirates win here today, could be very, very important in relief appearances going about an inning or two, because he's really, really nasty when he's on. But the problem is sometimes he has a tendency to maybe get down on himself a little bit, and then he ends up, you know, kind of getting wild and walking a few hitters, which I believe we saw on Friday. Actually, really, it was basically both things of what I'm saying, where he struck out 3 hitters, but in the same hand, he had 3 full counts, and he ended up walking all 3 of them. So if you're Team San Diego, you've seen this pitcher on Friday, so you're kind of a little bit familiar with him. They had actually seen Koval as well. Actually, they saw Koval for 1 inning on Friday, too. And Koval actually gave up 2 runs in that 1 inning on Friday. But earlier in the season, they had seen him for 6+. And obviously, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Koval had really held them in check and struck out 10 hitters in that 6 innings. But obviously, they got to him here the second time around today. But like we were saying, it'll be interesting because Jack Johnson really, they actually saw him pitch against them for 3 innings on Friday, so they're familiar with him. They're familiar with the southpaw from UC Riverside, the 6'0", 190-pounder, who gives the thumbs up that he's ready to pitch here to Christian Kelly, the catcher, as Jack Johnson will go in. It's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup. That's Rolando Sanchez, Justin Webb, and Danny Donahue. Sanchez is 1 for 3 with an RBI double and takes the first pitch he sees high for ball 1. 1-0 the count. 7-5 the score. Top of the 7th inning. Pirates on top of San Diego. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Big hack taken right there by Rolando Sanchez. We mentioned earlier that he is one of the few hitters on his team that have actually hit a home run here today, as it's 1-1 here. Of course, they would love a home run. The runner's off, and this is bounced straight at Kyle Jackson, who's on the bag and throws the first for the 4-3 double play. So this is a situation here, and actually the second 4-3 double play of the day as well for Kyle Jackson. But this is a situation here where Team San Diego was aggressive and tried a hit and run, and you get the ground ball down, but you hit it right up the middle towards Kyle Jackson, who was trying to cover second base. So that might have been a base hit if he wasn't trying to cover the bag. Swung on and missed, blown by the hitter, and it's 0-1 here to Justin Webb. Webb reached twice on walks and grounded out to the second baseman Kyle Jackson, who has made a lot of plays in this game. High and away for a ball. I mean, he's made a lot of plays in the field, and if you remember, he was the one that had the initial RBI back in the first inning. Seems like a long time ago now. Oh, nice slider in there for a strike. That is the second strike here for Jack Johnson. And Jack Johnson's another guy who's put up really good strikeout to walk ratio. And this one misses in the dirt for a ball. But I mean, Jack Johnson has, in 27 innings, has struck out 33 hitters for the Pirates this season. Working out of the windup, here's the pitch. And this one misses low. And then strikeout to walk ratio is 2-1 basically, because he has 16 walks. Here's the pitch. And this is high and away, so that'll be a walk. And the 17th of the season here for Jack Johnson. Still 2 out, top of the 7th inning. Pirates leading San Diego. And here's Danny Donahue, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. He's 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 6th, as he was scored on a Colin Nunweiss RBI. Here's the pitch. Line drive in the left field. Going back is the left fielder Bernardi, and he will make the catch, as that was hit very hard, but pretty much right at Bernardi, who had to travel probably 10 to 15 feet backwards, but not really having to go to the left or the right that much. And so the Pirates get out of this inning as well after the line drive out to left field, and they continue to lead by the score of 7-5 over San Diego. It's time to stretch here at Cal Poly Pomona. And welcome back as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-5 the score. Inland Valley leading Team San Diego. 3, 4, and 5 is where the Pirates are in the lineup. That's the heart of the order. Kyle Jackson, Nathan Virgin, and Andrew Alvarez. First pitch from Randy Wynn. It's a hard biting breaking pitch that just missed low and away. 1-0 the count. Kyle Jackson is 1 for 2 in this game. Had the RBI double in the first, walked and scored in the third, and flew out to the first baseman in his last at bat. This is a chopper over to the left side, and the third baseman Nunweiss fires across the diamond to retire Jackson. Nunweiss actually did a really good job of fielding it and basically slinging it into his right hand and slinging it across the diamond in one motion, because it was going to be a tough play to beat out, as we mentioned. And really, the infield grass is pretty high here, so anytime you hit a slow chopper like that, you think maybe it's going to be an infield base hit. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed by Virgin. So 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that's a streak of, for Randy Wynn, 5 consecutive being retired. This one misses for a ball. Ever since the home run by Anthony Virgin. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side, and that's through the hole for a base hit by Nathan. And so that is the first base runner here in the 7th inning for the Pirates, as Andrew Alvarez will come up to the plate, and then he will be followed by Kyle Garlick. Andrew Alvarez, of course, starting his career at Pepperdine before transferring to Orange Coast College, where he was part of a junior collegiate state championship team, and now headed to Houston Baptist, a D1 team in the Southland Conference. Pickoff throw over to first, not in time. That pickoff move is pretty tricky, actually. It's definitely unique. by Randy Wynn, because he's kind of still hunched over with the ball behind his back, and he just steps off the bump and sidearms it over to first. It's a pretty quick move. Here's the pitch from Wynn. Swung on, and this one's cracked down the left field line. The only question is, will it stay fair? And the answer is no, as it's foul by about 10 feet out there down the left field line. And that was one of the hardest hit balls that Andrew Alvarez has had in quite some time. Still has that .350 batting average for the season, but certainly at the beginning of the season he was on an absolute tear. But then again, if you still look at his conference stats in league games, he's done a really great job. This pitch is low and away. Throw down in second, and they got Nathan Virgin, who's trying to steal. So Nathan Virgin is caught stealing. That is the first time either team, I believe, has tried to steal base all game long. In fact, I'm pretty sure of that. And it's 1-1 here for Alvarez. Alvarez holding up on the pitch because he was trying to allow Nathan to steal second base and, you know, get a runner in scoring position. This one swung, towering fly ball to deep center field. The center fielder makes the catch, and it actually Webb made it look a little bit adventuresome, as it looked like he was camping underneath it, and then the last second he kind of made a leaping grab. But it doesn't matter exactly how it looks, you know, as long as you record the out, that's the name of the game. So that'll do it for the 7th inning as the Pirates go down here. But they still lead 7-5 as we will head to the top of the 8th inning of this one-game playoff. Winner gets the power in a best-of-3 series. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back as we head to the top of the 8th inning at Scalinos Field. Jack Johnson remains on the mound for the Pirates, and he fires a fastball high and away for ball 1 to Gabe Luthon here for Team San Diego, the leadoff hitter in the lineup. A guy who started that rally back in the 3rd inning, the 4-run rally for them, as this one misses low for a ball, 2-0 the count. Actually reached on an error, if you recall, back in that inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's called the strike on the inside corner, 2-1. We were talking about in the last inning when Jack Johnson came in to relieve Jordan Sheffs. This is really a situation that you definitely think fits his billing, as this one is swung on and lifted into shallow right field. Will that get down? No, it will not, as Alec Morbido comes in to make the catch. That is definitely Alec Morbido out there in right field. So Morbido now in for Garlick. Meanwhile, we've got Henley in for Bernardi in left. Otherwise, there's Varela, Reynoso, Kelly, Alvarez. That's actually Espinosa at second now. So Espinosa is in at second for Jackson. So those are the replacements here for the Pirates in the 8th inning. Jack Johnson fires a pitch home, and time was called for by the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Raymond Jones. Jack Johnson kind of throwing up his hands in disbelief, saying that you called time too late. Although I think the pitch might have been a bit low anyways, but still, maybe he was thrown off a bit when he saw that the umpire had called time. This one misses inside and high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Well, we know what's at stake here for the Pirates in San Diego with only 2 innings left. One of these two teams will advance to a best-of-3 championship series against the Palm Springs Power. The winner will host Game 1 tomorrow. The loser will be done for the season in SCCBL play. Here's the pitch. Fastball called a strike. And then, of course, Game 2 and Game 3, if necessary, will be at 7 o'clock in Palm Springs Stadium. Here is the pitch from Jack Johnson. Big slider in there for a called strike 2. And Jack Johnson has something with that pitch where really it's so hard. When he has that pitch going well, it's really almost impossible for a left-handed hitter to go against that pitch. 2-strike pitch. Yes, he did go, says the home plate umpire. It's in the dirt, so Kelly will have to throw down to first, and they record the out. And that's the second out here in the 8th inning. So you look at the Pirates, and now as number 4, Colin Newman, steps up to the plate. That is the number of outs away the Pirates are from winning this game and having a huge matchup for the championship against Palm Springs. But obviously, still need to finish this one out. Jack Johnson has looked pretty good so far. It'll be interesting to see if Charlie might decide to have him finish the game. Fastball away, ball 1, 1-0 the count to Colin. Colin, 2 for 4 on the day, singled and scored in the 3rd, and also had the RBI single back in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch from Johnson. Nice off-speed pitch in there, 1-1 the count. And when that ball is moving like that, I mean, when it starts basically on the right side of the plate and goes all the way to the left side of the plate, it must be very challenging for a hitter to see that type of pitch. Fastball up and in. They asked if he went down to the first base umpire, and they said no, he did not. 2-1 the count. As Jack Johnson really tried to pipe him on that last pitch. That was one of the harder pitches I think I've seen Johnson throw all season long. 2-1 offering. Fastball inside, ball 3, 3-1 the count. Well, for San Diego, with a 3-1 pitch, first of all, of course, that's going to be a hitter's pitch, because normally a pitcher's going to have to go with a fastball in that scenario. Secondly, you just want to, if you're San Diego, have a chance to get the game-tying run at the plate. Swung on and missed, strike 2, 3-2 the count. You want the game-tying run to potentially be at the plate with the big cleanup hitter on deck. Of course, for the Pirates and Jack Johnson, you would love to do anything that you can in your power to make sure that that does not happen here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. 3-2 swung and foul behind home plate. And we'll do it again. Another full count pitch to come here for Colin Newman. As we mentioned, this was something that sort of Jack Johnson struggled a bit with in his last outing or two. Full count pitches in general. Typically losing the hitters. Let's see if he can get the hitter this time. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, and a huge strikeout right there for Jack Johnson, as the Pirates are now only 3 outs away from clinching a series against the Palm Springs Power. They lead 7-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-5 the score. Alec Morabito coming in for his first at-bat of the game. He came in the last inning to replace Kyle Garlick out in right field. So Kyle Garlick finishes the day 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored, and had a huge hit down the left field line back in the 3rd inning. First pitch, called a strike, 0-1 the count here to Morabito. Randy Wynn still on the mound for Team San Diego. As we mentioned, he is their ace, and he is looking like he's very much going to go the entire distance. This one swung and fouled out of play behind home plate, 0-2 the count to Morabito. Morabito, 6'0", 170-pound left-handed hitter. Swings at this one and fouls this one straight back at the screen. And we'll do it again. Another 0-2 pitch to come for the junior to be from Cal Baptist. Speaking of Cal Baptist, the Pirates have another player from Cal Baptist, and A.J. David. I'm not sure if he's here today. I didn't see him. This one swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Morabito. And here comes Anthony Virgin. Anthony Virgin, he is 2 for 3. Had the RBI double in the 3rd and scored, and had the home run out of the left field fence back in the 5th inning for a much-needed insurance run in a game like this. Here's the pitch. Swung and fouled behind home plate into the adjacent parking lot, kind of near the first base side here at Cal Poly Pomona. Of course, that's where the students park out here in Cal Poly Pomona, because there are dormitories right adjacent to the field down the first base line. Swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch, 0-2. Well, Anthony Virgin, I think, showing why he has led the team in RBIs all season long, with 2 big ones here today. Here's the pitch. Another off-speed pitch, low and away this time, though, and it's a ball, and it's 1-2. It's a Virgin. On deck is Christian Kelly. Here's the pitch. Fouled off the edge of the bat and off the protective gear of the catcher. So Virgin protects the plate and stays alive. It'll be Christian Kelly on deck, and then Nolan Henley is in the hole. Came in the last inning to replace Jacob Bernardi out in left field. Here's the pitch. Towering fly ball in the infield. Catcher saying up. Second baseman Donahue calling for it and makes the catch for the second out here in the 8th inning. So 2 up and 2 down here for Randy Wynn in the 8th inning, as his team trails the Pirates by 2 runs, 7-5 the score, and Christian Kelly stepping up to the plate. Kelly is 1 for 3, had the RBI single back in the 3rd inning. Kelly with 11 RBIs on the season. This one misses high and away, ball 1, 1-0 count. Of course, you hit double-digit RBIs for the season. That's very impressive. This one's called a strike on the outside corner. Here's the pitch from Wynn. Fastball low and away, 2-1. Christian Kelly was a guy who started his career at UC Santa Barbara, where he redshirted for a year before transferring here to Cal Poly Pomona. Line drive over to the right side, hit right at the first baseman who can't handle it, and now throwing over to first, but not in time, is the second baseman, Donahue. So Donahue alertly, seeing that the ball was hit so hard and off of Leary's, I believe, left leg, it deflected and ricocheted to him. He tried to make a sidearm throw and still retire Kelly, but just maybe a millisecond late, as Kelly ends up on first base there. Here comes Nolan Henley for his first at-bat here. Nolan Henley, as we mentioned, replacing Bernardi, who was 0 for 3 in this game. Henley came out there in left field in the last inning. We also had Morabito, who hit in this inning, come into right field. And we had Greg Espinosa replace Jackson at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch called a strike. 0-1 the count to the University of Laverne Leopard. 1 of 3 in the Inland Valley Baseball Association. 2 on this team. 3, of course, is also the number that Nolan Henley wears for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side over towards the second baseman Donahue. Fields cleanly and throws over to the first baseman Leary to retire Henley. And so that'll do it for the bottom of the 8th inning. The Pirates get no runs, but they have a 7-5 lead as we will head to the 9th inning. In the 9th inning, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup for San Diego, so right in the middle of the lineup. So it'll be certainly not easy for Jack Johnson, but something that he hopes, and we hope, that he's up for the challenge when we come back on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back. Dave Soberi, as always, on the play-by-play. So glad you've joined us for this playoff game between Team San Diego and the Pirates. 7-5 the score, top of the 9th inning. Jack Johnson still on the mound here for Inland Valley. Johnson coming in the 7th inning to replace Jordan Sheffs, who at this moment is the pitcher of record. Here's the pitch. Slow off-speed pitch, low and away, ball 1, 1-0 the count here. He came in and he immediately got the ground ball double play, and then got a fly ball out in the 7th inning, did Jack Johnson. This one hits the hitter on the left leg, and so Leary will head to first base. And for Team San Diego, I wonder if you might even consider using a pinch runner here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But really, that's tough for the Pirates because, and now Jack Johnson's going to get the hook, the really quick hook after hitting the first pitcher he sees. And here comes A.J. David. So A.J. David, we actually questioned whether or not he was here earlier, is obviously here because he is now coming in to try to notch the save here for the Pirates. And we've seen him come in some huge situations earlier in the season, specifically against the Palm Springs Power, where he came in after a game in the final inning after Andrew Alvarez had gone 8 1/3 and had shut them down cold for the first 8 innings. And then in that 9th inning, gave up a couple runs. Actually, the second run was actually scored on a wild pitch by David, but still, A.J. David ended up striking out those last 2 hitters he faced and got the save in what was a huge pressure-laced situation for David and the Pirates. Speaking of pressure situations, Jack Johnson did still a very good job in his 2 innings, and he was the guy that actually got the save against the Power in the other game, of course, that Andrew Alvarez started and the Pirates won. But for Team San Diego in this scenario, with no outs here in the top of the ninth inning, this is pretty much all you could have asked for, in the sense that you have the tying run now at the plate after your leadoff man gets hit by a pitch. So for them, they've got to feel good about themselves in that instance right there. Meanwhile, for the Pirates, of course, there's plenty of things that you're thinking about here, only being 3 outs away from potentially playing the Power in a best-of-3 series to decide the SCCBL champion. But one of the first things you're thinking is, man, if you could get a ground ball here on the first, at bat and try to get a double turn 2 and get a double play, that would be huge and go a long way into maybe polishing off this game. As A.J. David now nods his head to Christian Kelly and says, yes, I'm ready to go. So we will get ready to resume this top of the ninth inning. 7-5 the score. Pirates leading San Diego. It was the Pirates who swept the season series 4-0. In fact, they won by a combined 14 runs in those 4 games. Won the first 2 by 4 runs each, won the third by 5, and then the fourth game only won by 1 run. But this game, Pirates falling behind 4-1 in the third inning and answering back with 5 of their own to take a 6-4 lead. Here's the pitch from David. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 0-1 the count here to Nate Ellingson for Team San Diego. Actually, this is a pinch hitter. This is Manny Cordero for Team San Diego. And he's a guy that has been very good for San Diego over the past 3 years, really. In fact, in 2012, he won the SCCBL Home Run Derby. Swung on and foul back at the screen, 0-2. But we heard that, I guess the reason he wasn't in the starting lineup for this game was that even though his numbers are still very impressive for the season, he's been struggling a bit with the bat lately and has struck out a lot in the last couple weeks of the season here for Team San Diego. Very small lead off first base by the pinch runner for Team San Diego. Here's the pitch from David. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Cordero as the dugout says, we got one. And that is the first out here in the top of the ninth inning, as the Pirates now 2 outs away. Here's Aaron Ping. Ping is 1 for 3, had the RBI single in third, and also walked in the 7th inning. So he's reached base a couple times, as the middle infielders will now try to definitely go into double play territory with the 1 out, top of the ninth inning. 1 man on, pickoff throw over to first. Whoa, that was no joke right there by A.J. David, who fired an absolute bullet over to the first baseman, Andrew Alvarez. David checks over at first. Now comes set, working from the left side of the rubber, fires. And this one's in there for strike 1, 0-1 the count here. We were talking about, actually, a little bit about David when Morabito was at the plate, because he's one of 2 Cal Baptist members on this team. But A.J. David committing to Cal Baptist in December of last year. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And, I mean, that says a lot, because basically he committed to Cal Baptist before he even played his sophomore season. And it was pretty easy for, I think, Cal Baptist to sign him up when he was a first-team All-State performer and put up absolutely ridiculous numbers. But that's as a hitter. He also did well as a pitcher as well. Ground ball left side over to Johnny Reynoso. He throws to second. They get the force out there. Do they turn 2? Yes, that's an inning-ending, a game-ending double play. 5-4-3 as the Pirates have turned 2. And that will do it for this ball game, as the Pirates have now clinched a spot in the SCCBL Championship Series, starting at 4:30 here tomorrow on Tuesday. That game, of course, will be live on our air. And this was a game that, I mean, really, to recap this game, it was just crazy to put it in one word and just what happened here. I mean, Kyle Jackson has the RBI double in the first. The Pirates take a 1-0 lead. But San Diego, they score 4 runs in the third inning, grab a 4-1 lead. Pirates come back with 5 in the third. And in that third inning, send up all 9 hitters. But actually, in the top half of the inning, San Diego did the same thing as well, as we saw 18 hitters in that 1 inning and 9 runs scored, as both teams will meet out here to congratulate each other, as the Pirates will end up winning all 5 games played between the 2 teams and get sort of a measure of revenge for last season, because if you remember, last season, Inland Valley was swept by San Diego, so they get 4 plus an extra one, and now sweep the 5-game series, as the team will now head, well, actually they'll be here again tomorrow at 4:30 to play the Power, and then they'll head over to Palm Springs for Game 2 and Game 3. But going back to that third inning, that was all done with 2 outs, 5 runs with 2 outs in the third. It was Kyle Jackson and Virgin who drew walks, and then Alvarez infield single. Garlic, 2-run double. Anthony Virgin, had the RBI double, and Christian Kelly the RBI single. And at that point it's 6-4. Then Anthony Virgin, he belts out a home run in the 5th, makes it 7-4. San Diego comes back with 1 in the 6th, 7-5. And that is the final score of the game. Jordan Sheffs is the winner for the Pirates in this game. Jack Johnson, he went a couple innings after Sheffs in relief and did a really good job. And A.J. David gets the save, as it was Michael Koval who started the game, and we were talking about just how well he's pitched this season, and it was very rare to see him struggle the way he did, but still the Pirates overcoming it. And you figure that now you almost think, with Koval only throwing 2 1/3 innings today, he's certainly going to be ready if there's a Game 3. And, I mean, honestly, he could even be ready for a Game 2, as he didn't make that many pitches here in this game. So it's almost kind of like a good thing in the sense that even though he gave up those 4 runs in that third inning, you now have him available, presumably, definitely you would say for Game 3, but maybe even for Game 2 as well. And, of course, once again, thanks for joining us. Dave Silvera on the play-by-play, saying that this season will last at least 2 more days. There will be one game here tomorrow at 4:30. That game will be live on our air, as will the playoff games in Palm Springs Stadium at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Final score here, 7-5. Pirates, they improved their record to 26-6 on the season. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on InlandValleyBaseball.com.